So we got the Detroit Lions versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Detroit coming off a bye week. Matt Stafford. I'm just going to hit you quickly with the daily fan or the fantasy football projections here. Matt Stafford is startable, but more super flex start for me than regular. I don't know what the heck they're doing with the running backs, but I actually do have DeAndre Swift as kind of the top running back of the week for the Detroit Lions. Golladay, I think, is a weekly start. I think Jones will play a little bit better. I like Hockenson as well this week, especially as kind of a daily fantasy type sleeper. Jacksonville, Gardner Minshew is a start. James Robinson I have as a good projection, though I did last week as well, and he disappointed me. DJ Chark, did he exit? I think he exited the game early. So I didn't really get an update as to how severe that was, but DJ Chark would be a start for me if playing. Laviska Shenault, I think, might be startable for the rest of the season. He gets a lot of targets, everybody. He hasn't really broken into the end zone a lot. You see Keelan Cole get a lot of these touchdown grabs, but at some point, Keelan Cole is going to get like 3 or 4 games in a row where he gets a touchdown grab. So I'd buy early on him because you can still buy him out there. Do that now because his target share, I like what he's getting. Tyler Eifert injured his neck, so backup tight end there might be a decent play, but again, that's more daily fantasy for me. Take it away, David.
Well, I'll just say it's pretty amazing and wonderful to me that we're getting to the point where a game where James Robinson finishes with 70 total yards and 5 catches is considered a bad week. I mean, you said it was disappointing.
Disappointing, yeah. I was expecting him to get like 2 touchdowns, yeah.
Even in a 0.5 PPR, I mean, it was obviously a cake matchup against Houston, who's just kind of like Carolina, been getting run all over. But at this point, James Robinson, even when he's not getting into the end zone, he's got 5 receptions in 2 straight weeks. That's pretty good, my friend. So the fact he's being used as much as he is as a receiver is great news. It's not great news for DJ Chark, who's been really boomer bust. Like you mentioned now, I think he had some sort of injury. We got to check in on that.
Yeah.
But it's good news for Laviska Shenault, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
He's been someone we've been talking about a little bit, who's been consistent and hasn't really had that blow-up game. Like you said, he hasn't really gotten into the end zone, which is kind of what's been limiting him. But, man, does this guy look good, and he is getting carries, guys.
Yes.
Like, he's getting carries. He's in the slot, and Keelan Cole's good, but Minshew clearly likes throwing the ball over the middle of the field to Shenault and just letting him do work after the catch. So, at this point, if he's got a good matchup, go ahead. You play Shenault. He's a plug-and-play at this point.
Yeah, man, this Jacksonville offense is for real. Dynasty gives me a little bit of pause because you don't know what's going to happen to the coaching staff. If if Marone gets canned and then Gruden and they wipe house, I mean, who knows? But this year, the offense is for real. Gruden's offense produces results. It always has in the NFL, except for last year when they had to go to the poo-poo platter in Washington of quarterbacks. Let me hit you with the line here. Detroit is -3.5 versus Jacksonville. Who do you got?
I'm gonna take Detroit here. I think they're gonna. I mean, they're coming off a bye, so that's obviously help.
Right.
I don't love DeAndre Swift this week because basically Swift he's like Odell Beckham to me. Like, good matchup, you play him. Bad matchup, you don't play him. And I don't think they're going to be losing this week. They haven't shown any inclination to not lean on Adrian Peterson when they're running the ball. So, unfortunately, I think this is going to be another less than 6-touch week for DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I hate that half point, that extra half point, 3.5. But I'm going to take Detroit too, primarily because they're coming off the bye week, and they're healthy. I mean, Detroit last season was unhealthy. They're the healthiest they've been in like a year and a half. So I'll take Detroit, but no shade at Jacksonville because they can keep games close. They always tend to keep games close. I was actually surprised that they didn't cover the spread against Houston, but it was that new head coach, factor, that new energy in the room. You always kind of worry about that as a bettor.